Shut up and sit down.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back once again to Vicious Rants. Of course, I am your host, Mr. Main Event himself, the often imitated, never duplicated superstar Tim Vicious, and we're going to go over Raw this week. Was in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Now, thankfully, no screw jobs happened. Okay, that was a bad joke on my part. That was bad taste. That was in bad taste. I'm sorry. You know, it was just, the joke was just sitting there dangling in front of me. I couldn't help myself. Forgive me, for I have no control of my brain. Yeah. Okay, anyways, before we get into Raw, just like always, we're going to switch gears and talk about last week via the SmackDown Rewind. And man, oh man, this was one hell of a SmackDown. This was the Fallout one to WrestleMania. Excuse me. Show started out with Cody Rhodes coming out, addressing the crowd, talking about on how good it feels to be the champ. Again, talking about on how he went from undesirable to ungoddamn deniable to undisputed WWE champion, and wound up addressing with the little altercation with The Rock in the ring, taking a page out of Brandy Rhodes' book, saying, not take the line from somebody, but who the hell told you it was open mic night, bitch? Basically saying, Rock, you can say you can go away to Hollywood, all this, that, and the other. I'm still here. You want me? Come get me. And then wound up making a statement saying that, if you're gonna shoot for the king, you best not miss. Because we got 2 triple threat matches on SmackDown tonight, and the winners of both of those are going to fight next week to determine the number 1 contender to go and face Mr. Rhodes at Backlash in France. So, with that said, the first match of the night for SmackDown, it was the first triple threat match. It had LA Knight, yeah, dummy, yeah, going against the almighty Bobby Lashley, going against Santos Escobar, and whew, this was good. I really liked this. I thought this match was good. LA Knight got the win, yeah. So, now the big thing that happened on SmackDown that people were talking about. The Bloodline came out. Jimmy Uso, Mein Savior, Paul Heyman, as well as Solo Sikoa. Now, Paul had the mic addressing, ladies and gentlemen, the Bloodline does not make excuses. We hold ourselves to accountability. We lost at WrestleMania. We lost. But, like a phoenix, we will rise up from the ashes, and Solo stops him. Wins and losses matter. So, failure needs to be made. If you fail, you need to be made an example of. And then turns his head, creeps over at Jimmy, and Jimmy just said, whoa, wait, me? Y'all gotta be kidding me, right? And then you just see Solo give him a big hug. You're my brother. And I love you. I love you too. I love you too. That's good. That's cool. And then BAM! Sneak attack from behind. Mysterious figure in a black hood. Who could it be? Why, it's Tama Tonga. For those who may not know, sit down, children. You're about to get a little bit of a quick history lesson from Professor Vicious. Tama Tonga is the son of Haku. If you don't know who Haku is, one of the most baddest of badasses out there on the planet. And Haku was old enough to be my dad, and I still would not want to fuck with him. He was one of the most badass, legitimate badasses in wrestling. The guy, even at his age now, could rip my head off, eat every last bit of flesh on it, and then use my skull as a bowling ball, and that would just be, that would just be for fun. Yeah. Tama Tonga, he's his son. He was one of the OG founders for the Bullet Club. Wound up leading temporarily during that small little gap between AJ and Kenny Omega for a bit, and yeah. And then there was the whole separate Bullet Club Civil War thing. He was leading his own independent faction on that. But Tama Tonga is now here in WWE. He helped Solo in doing a beatdown on Jimmy Uso. The whole time that's going on, Paul Heyman's over in the corner, cowering in fear. Oh my God! This is not what our tribal chief wanted! No! No! And then after the beatdown is all said and done, you just see Tama and Solo put up the ones. And then you see Paul Heyman get the phone. Call Roman and then Solo just grabs the phone, throws it to the ground. Boom! Stomps on it. Acknowledge your tribal chief. Like, okay, so, is Solo branching out now? Because now this is gonna make... Because if that's the case, man... That's going to make Roman one hell of a babyface when he comes back. So, yeah. Cameron Grimes did a squash match for Braun Breaker. Braun got the win, much to no surprise. Especially considering Braun just dropped the tag titles for NXT earlier in that week on Tuesday. So now he's full-time officially on SmackDown. Naomi had a match against Tiffany Stratton, and this came to be because Bayley came out to address the crowd, thanking them for everything that thanking them for their support, and to boast over the fact that she is the new women's champion, and then wanted to go and say, Naomi, you are a hell of a competitor. I want to give you first crack at this championship. Naomi was very much so, nah, you know what? I appreciate it. But I want to earn it. Tiffany Stratton came out, hello. If she don't want it, I'll take it. Thank you. Which then led to a little bit of a squabbling verbally, and then the match. Naomi got the win. Excuse me. Piper Niven and Chelsea Green wound up having a match against Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. Much to no surprise, Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair got the win. I definitely see them going for the women's tag titles at some point. Excuse me. So then it was Kevin Owens, AJ Styles, and Rey Mysterio going against each other for the other spot in the triple threat match. AJ Styles wound up getting the win, no surprise. So we're getting a callback to WrestleMania. This Friday coming up, we're going to see LA Knight against AJ Styles, and the winner of that match is going to be going against Cody Rhodes at Backlash in France. So with that said, now let's get into this week's show. Raw Montreal. It starts out with Mommy herself, Rhea Bloody Ripley. Unfortunately, her arm is in a sling. She comes out looking 6 different levels of angry. And yeah. Ooh, that's not good. So she winds up owning up and admitting she's banged up pretty bad. She's injured. So she's not going to be able to compete for a couple months. So she is forced to vacate the women's title. So her exact words were, I have to be on the bench. I'm only going to be out for a little while. So there's no specific time frame, no exact wording on what kind of injury she has. For all you know, it could be a sprain and just be out for 2 months, or it could be something serious like a massive tear or a dislocation and be out for anywhere between 3 months to a year. No, we don't know. But then afterwards she wound up saying she is all sorts of pissed, and she's got every right to be. Because Liv fucking Morgan threw a chair at her last week and injured her, and now she can't defend her title. So Liv, you want to talk about being on a revenge tour, fine. But know this, I'm coming for you. And when I come back, I'm not just coming for my title, I'm coming for blood. And then Liv Morgan comes out like all sorts of, yeah, hey, come on, let's go. And then Rhea, she's getting ready to go, and then Adam Pearce like, no, we are not doing this. Security. And then they start to keep security keeps them two separated, and then Rhea, with her one arm in the sling, looks over at the one security guard, wham, headbutts him. The other two are just like, whoa, okay, listen, we're not getting close. All right, we're good. All right. So, yeah. It sucks that Rhea had to vacate the title. It really does. But, trying to think the right way to say this. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. When Rhea comes back, oh my God, people are going to be loving her so much more because of the fact that we missed her so much. You know, so I'm looking forward to that. Now with that said, let's get into the first match of the night. Jimmy came back, folks. Jimmy's back. Sheamus wound up having a match against Ivar. And man, oh man. Well, first thing that I noticed was Sheamus came out. He's wearing biker shorts instead of his normal traditional trunks. And also, he's got his old song back. The limes again. Yeah. So, Sheamus, he was looking good, man. I know some people were making cracks saying, oh, he doesn't look as lean as he did before, this, that, and the other. Listen, dude does bodybuilding work, you know, and he does multiple different kinds of workout styles. So, heaven forbid, maybe, just maybe, he bulked up and everything that was all long and lean wound up turning into big muscle. So heaven forbid, he may not have that thin, super Mr. Universe look. Ugh, whatever. But man, Sheamus, he was looking good, leading right up into the break. Post-break, Ivar, he was fighting back. I'm pretty sure Michael Cole was slightly disappointed over the fact Valhalla wasn't there with her horns again. But either way, Sheamus wound up getting the win, doing a running high knee and then hitting a brogue, 1, 2, 3. So yeah. Next up we had Triple Threat #1 Contenders match for the new World Tag Team titles, which will be defended on Monday Night Raw. And Miz and R-Truth were presented with new tag team titles. So, those red ones with the nickel, with the giant nickels and dimes on it, bye-bye. I am so happy that we got a new belt design. And I like this new title design. I dig it. So, aside from the comedy spoof with R-Truth being presented the new championship, yeah. I'm not even going to try and explain all that. Folks, you're watching this, you're listening to this, you're paying attention to this in some way, shape, or form. That means you have some form of access to the internet. I'm just going to say, pause it, go look up R-Truth with that moment, and then come back. Thank you for coming back. Now, with that said, Triple Threat for the #1 Contenders. DIY going against the Creed brothers, going against the New Day. And good God almighty, this was damn good. Real good, solid action all around. You know, it had lots of good mayhem in it. I dug it, especially with the fact that they were emphasizing this kind of triple threat. All three members of the team had to be in the ring at the same time, and you could only tag your partner. Okay. Excuse me. I like it. I like it. It makes sense. It was a good match. I dug it. DIY wound up getting the win. They got the win by doing the meet in the middle to Xavier Woods, who was in the middle of a pin. So I thought that was real clever. Next up, we had Indi Hartwell and Candice LeRae doing a tag match against Maxxine Dupri and Ivy Nile. This had some good action in it. Maxxine wound up being the punching bag in it. But, you know, I know Maxxine wound up getting a lot of crap because, well, she got booed out of the arena because she made a stinker at a house show. And I get a lot of her co-workers were standing up for her. You know, never going to argue on that. Co-workers that like you, stand up for you. Yeah, why not? I will say this, though. I didn't hear anything about her complaining about the crowd booing her, but there's a difference between booing somebody because, oh, you're a villain, or, oh, we were not entertained by that match, compared to, boo, you suck, you're trash, blah, 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 kind of trolling, kind of booing. If you're going to boo somebody, boo them because they're the bad guy. You know? That's my thing. And I'm not saying they're the company heel or the company good guy. No, you could see the company's good guy as the villain in your eyes. Then by all means boo them. But again, just in that sense of that character, not, oh, their ring work is shit. Oh, they only do this, they only do that, blah, blah, blah. No. So, back to the match, though. Maxxine, she was the punching bag up until the very end, and that came to be because Ivy wound up getting a hot tag, but it was a blind one, so the ref didn't see it, and the ref was arguing with Ivy the whole time. And while that was going on, Indi, boom, popped Maxxine with a boot to the face, and Candice, who was down on the mat, Indi picked her up and drug her on top of Maxxine and then got out the ring. And then the ref did the 1, 2, 3. So your winners are Indi Hartwell and Candice LeRae. So nice to see the Johnny Gargano family all getting wins back to back. Next up, we had Andrade going up against Dominik Mysterio. And this was supposed to be Dom's revenge match because of Andrade choosing to work with Ray at WrestleMania. And I gotta tell you, this was a nice match. Nice pace with Dom leading into the break. Andrade leading the pace post-break. It was a damn good match. I liked it. Excuse me. Andrade wound up getting the win, doing his finish, that hammerlock spinning neck breaker. I can't remember the name of it. I'm sorry, but that move is sharp as hell, though. Andrade wound up getting the win. Afterwards, it then became a 2-on-1 beatdown with JD McDonagh, who was ringside assisting on the beatdown. Ricochet came out to make the save, and they announced next week it's going to be Dom and JD going against Ricochet and Andrade, so yeah. Next up, we had Chelsea Green and Piper Niven going against Kayden Karter and Katana Chance. Nice pace. Chelsea and Piper, they were leading on the first half. They were leading the first half with... Sorry, throat's dry and it's getting hard to talk. Excuse me. It's the change of weather. like I was saying, the heels, they were leading the first half of the match with, and Chelsea, she was the punching bag for the second half. It was a decent match. It came to an end. Again, I thought in a real creative way. As the ref was doing a count with Kayden doing the pinning Chelsea. 1, 2. And as the ref's counting, Piper then does a running crossbody onto Kayden to knock her off, as opposed to just like pulling hair or punching or whatever. And then Chelsea, looking like half punch drunk, just rolls herself over. 1, 2, 3. It's, yeah, I won. Ooh, kind of thing. Next up, we had Jey Uso going against Finn Balor. And I gotta tell you, this was a good match. I liked it. Now, Finn wound up doing a sneak attack before the bell, like behind Jay's back. Finn wound up leading into the break with Jey leading post-break. This was good. I liked it. I definitely see something down the road. Not just because we got Priest and Uso, Priest and Jey, I should say, because there's more than one Uso. Priest and Jey at Backlash, but I see Judgment Day being can be a drawn out feud. But Jey wound up getting the win, hitting a spear and the Uso splash. Afterwards, all the Judgment Day came down to beat up on Jey. Jey wound up eventually fighting the hole, snuck out, and got the hell out of Dodge, ran like a bat out of hell. And at one point, to save himself, he actually threw a few shots at JD and then threw JD McDonagh at Finn to help him get out. He got out and he worked his way out through the crowd. And as he's working his way out through the crowd, people are coming up to him like, "Yeah, who's?" And then this one kid literally running up to him. And I say kid, he had to be like anywhere between like maybe 16 or mid-20s. Has his phone out, holding it out like this, like, hey, get a picture. And then Jay's just like, "Man, come on, get out of here. I ain't got time for that." And then gets over to this one spot, looks over at Sami Zayn like, "What you looking at, man?" Sami talks about on how all them years ago, he saw his first show in this building. And now he's main eventing it, defending his Intercontinental Championship. It just feels so surreal for him. And then Sami works his way out through the ring, through the crowd, which is way cool. And then out comes Chad Gable. And so we got Sami Zayn going against Chad Gable, and good God almighty, this was a hell of a match. A lot of good back and forth going into the break. Gable, he was leading post-break with Sami, excuse me, with Sami, easy for me to say, starting to build up into the second break, and it was a good match, good pace. I thought it was really great storytelling. And a lot of us kind of knew what was going to happen during the match, or after the match, I should say, but still, half the fun is actually seeing it come to life. Sami wound up getting the win when he did a haluva kick on the Gable, got the 1, 2, 3. Afterwards, he went over ringside, he saw his dad, he saw his wife, his family, celebrating with them, and then right after he gets done giving his wife a hug, Gable out of nowhere grabs him by the waist, German suplexes him out on the outside. You see all of his family screaming and yelling at him, "What are you doing? What the hell's wrong with you? Huh? And then Gable just goes at it, all sorts of, gets medieval on his ass, beats the holy hell out of him, and then slaps an ankle lock through the ring post on him up until the show ends. So you want to talk about one hell of a way to end the show hot. There you go. So that is it for this week's show, folks. So if you're watching this on YouTube, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and go back watch some of the other episodes. If you're listening to this on Spotify, please follow the channel, leave a 5-star review, and answer the questions down below. In fact, do the same thing on YouTube as well. Any questions, complaints, concerns, grunts, groans, anything you think can help improve the show, let me know. I want to hear it. I am open to all forms of criticism. Just please be mindful on how you... Please be at least, well, somewhat educated when you go to do it, because I'm not just going to sit there and tolerate, "Will, your show sucks" kind of comments. Like, okay, tell me what it is you don't like. Tell me what you think you could improve on. I want to hear. But, yeah. Either way, folks, that is it for this week's show. So please, thank you to contributor to the show, LFC Lingerie Fighting Championship. There are a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of MMA, and a whole lot of attractive women wearing a little bit of nothing. Thank you. Also, make sure you check out whatamaneuver.net for some vicious rants apparel. If you're seeing the video, you see I'm wearing one of our tank tops for the summer. We also have unisex tees, women's tees, long sleeves, toddler tees, and baby onesies. whatamaneuver.net. Also, folks, don't forget to follow these cool-ass cats on Reddit on the Twitter. DSB_IV, main event_net, the main event wrestling network Twitter account. Sergeant Curry Pants, 3 Count Thursday, D-Dryer 1986. Also, folks, Vicious Chats is also on this same feed. Check that out. I had a great interview with the Super Ref Pondwater Dave. More interviews to come. And folks, like I always tell y'all, if you love me, great. If you hate me,
shut up and sit down.
Fuck you.